Hi, and welcome to The Lamp in the Library. I'm Graham.
I'm Kim, and this is Cooper.
And today we're going to be talking about books with great covers. They say that you should not judge a book by its cover, but here at The Lamp in the Library, we believe strongly in aesthetics. And we're going to be talking about some books that the cover art was so striking that we had to acquire the book. And upon reading the book, we discovered that the content lived up to the cover.
Yeah, bought it for the cover, stayed for the content.
So Kim, what book did you acquire for the cover art only to discover that it was also a great book?
So first up, I have Angel by Elizabeth Taylor, and this is a Virago Modern Classics hardcover edition. And I just thought that this was so beautiful. I liked how it had the recurring motif of the girl and the color usage, and I have found that all of Virago Modern Classics hardcovers are so beautiful that you can't help but want to pick them up. And part of it is I bought some editions of this sort of set before, and I trusted the publisher, and I was so delighted that I picked up this book. It was such a fun read. It features an introduction by Hilary Mantel, who's best known for her Wolf Hall series, but it's really delightful. It's one of those books I can actually remember exactly where I was while I was reading it. And just a brief plot synopsis, it tells the story of this young woman who decides that she wants to be a writer, puts in a little bit of effort, and then writes a sort of trashy romance book that gets some public attention, but critics deride it. But she sort of lives in this fantasy world where she's always right, and she's like this huge creative genius, but maybe isn't so much. So it has this humor in especially the parts that show like her writing, but then it's kind of a tragic comedy because then there are some tragic consequences to her beliefs and her actions. But overall, I just found it like a really fun romp, and I was so happy that I bought it. And again, that's Angel by Elizabeth Taylor, not the actress. What's your first pick, Graham?
So here's a book that I thought had an incredibly striking cover, so I picked it up. This is a book of poetry called Brute by Emily Skaja, and it is the winner of the Walt Whitman Award of the Academy of American Poets, published by Grey Wolf Press, and I thought that the cover design was absolutely fantastic. It features a painting by Walton Ford called Gleipnir. The hand in the wolf's mouth, I think, is perfect use of imagery for these poems, which are really powerful and raw. And I do encourage you to pick this book up. Really fantastic find, and I was really attracted by this cover art. So it really evokes what is on the cover, and that's what you want in a book.
My next choice is the book Meadowland, The Private Life of an English Field by John Lewis-Stempel. And I was really intrigued by this really gorgeous illustration of an owl that was on the cover. And I liked the use, the green that they used in the cover. And I'd heard of his work, but I just had never picked any up. And this sort of was like, what, I'm going to check out this book. I liked the concept of it, this sort of looking at one field through the course of one whole year. And then, the illustration just totally sold me. And then also within it, before each month, it has like a little illustration. So since we're in March, this is March. The badger. And I was really happy that I picked it up because I really enjoyed it, and I think John Lewis-Stempel is a really wonderful nature writer, so much so that I think that there's a lot of writers who now try to copy his style of prose, and while I think it's natural for John Lewis-Stempel, for other people sometimes it feels forced, but I really like his prose, and there is something very poetic about the way he is viewing the world around him. So yeah, beautiful cover and beautiful book.
So the next book I'm going to look at is a graphic novel, and I feel that with graphic novels there is presumably more creative control from the author over the cover design, because art is part of the process, obviously, in the creation of graphic novels. This is called Upgrade Soul by Ezra Clayton Daniels, And it's the winner of the 2017 Dwayne McDuffie Award for Diversity in Comics, and it was on a lot of best of lists in 2018. And I thought that this cover was really strange and haunting, and it just really drew you in. And the content inside is just as good. The book covers lots of fascinating and thought-provoking territory, ethics, science, what it means to be human, the purpose of life. Great book.
Just some breezy topics.
some nice light topics. But it's great when a work of art, a book, really draws you in, and the cover art is really evocative of what's between the covers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we're lucky because publishers for the last little while now have really been paying attention to making beautiful pieces, because they know that people who really love the physical book, they want to collect it and have it look beautiful on the shelves.
Yeah, I think we're living in a bit of a renaissance, a kind of golden age, if you will, of cover art, and I do hope it continues, and I do hope that publishers and authors are really paying attention to the aesthetics of the physical book.
Yeah, so all you publishers out there, take note.
Yeah, I know you're watching this video.
Mm-hmm.
So for the rest of you in the comments, what do you think? Have you ever picked up a book just because you thought the cover was fantastic and then were pleasantly surprised? Let us know.
Yeah, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe below, and hit the bell so you know when we have a new episode.
Keep well.
Keep reading.